Once upon a time in the whispering woods, where the leaves gossiped secrets to the wind and the babbling brook sang ancient tunes, there lived a squirrel named Sunny. Now, Sunny wasn't your average squirrel. Oh no. While her brothers and sisters chased each other up and down the oak trees and chattered about nothing much, Sunny loved to ask questions. She wondered why the sky turned pink at sunset, how butterflies tasted sweet nectar, and where the raindrops went after falling on the thirsty ground. To Sunny, the forest was a giant puzzle, and she was determined to piece it together one question at a time. Now, her endless questioning drove her family nuts. Why won't you just gather some nuts, Sunny? Her mother would sigh, shaking her head as Sunny dashed off to chase a butterfly, eager to ask it why it was so good at flying. But Sunny knew there were answers to all her questions, and she wouldn't rest until she found them. One crisp autumn day, Sunny was scampering around an oak tree when she spotted something strange. A whole branch laden with juicy acorns had snapped off and was lying on the ground. Now, usually this would be cause for celebration among the squirrels. More acorns meant more food for the winter. But Sunny wasn't interested in eating. She wanted to understand. Why did the branch break? She asked, leaping onto the branch and sniffing the air. An acorn fell from the branch and hit her right on the head, and that's when she heard it. A low rumble coming from inside the hollowed-out trunk of the oak tree. "What's that noise?" Sunny gasped, her eyes wide with wonder, before her brother could grab her and drag her away for a nut-gathering session. Sunny had already scurried up the tree and peeked inside the hole. To her surprise, she found a busy little beaver family hard at work on a contraption of sticks, mud, and stones. "A dam," she whispered in awe. The beavers were building a dam to block the flow of the nearby stream, and Sunny couldn't help but wonder why they were doing this. So she did what she did best. She asked a question. "Excuse me," she called out, "but why are you making a dam?" The beavers stopped their work and stared at Sunny, surprised by the talking squirrel. "Well, silly squirrel," said the biggest beaver, chuckling, "we're building a dam to hold back the water and create a pond. It'll be great for swimming, and we can also use the extra land to build our lodge." Sunny nodded, though she still didn't quite understand why they needed a pond. She took a closer look at the half-built dam and noticed that it was blocking the path of the stream. "So you want to make a pond here?" she asked, tilting her head, "but wouldn't that flood your building area?" The beavers exchanged confused glances. "Well, yes, but we didn't know there was a problem with that," said the beaver who had been stacking stones. "You see, we beavers work better when we have a flooded area to carry sticks and mud with our teeth." Sunny frowned. She understood now. The beavers needed to flood their building area to build the dam. But she couldn't help but wonder if there was a better way. After all, Sunny was a squirrel, and squirrels were great at gathering information. So she excused herself and went to visit her friend Benny the Bluebird. Benny was known throughout the forest for his wisdom, and Sunny hoped he could help her figure out the beaver's problem. "Benny, I need your help," she said breathlessly as soon as she reached his nest. "I found a beaver family building a dam, but they're flooding their building area, and I want to help them, but I don't know how." Benny cocked his head, considering the problem. He said at last, "Well, if they need to keep their building area flooded, but they also need to build a dam to create a pond, then they need a way to move that water. Once the dam is finished, move the water," Sunny repeated. Suddenly, an idea popped into her head. "Benny, thank you so much for your help," she said. She dashed away before Benny could ask any questions, and soon she was standing in front of the beaver lodge, an idea forming in her mind. "Hello," she said to the beavers, who were staring at her curiously. "I have an idea that might help you," she offered. The beavers looked at each other again. "Another idea, Squirrel?" the biggest one asked skeptically. "Well, I was thinking since you need to flood your building area to build the dam, and then you want to create a pond here, well, what if you dug a channel from here to here?" Sunny said, tracing two paths in the air with her paws. "Then you could flood the channel and use the water to fill the pond when you redone building." The beavers stared at Sunny in stunned silence. Then the biggest one burst out laughing. "That's brilliant, little squirrel," he exclaimed. "You've solved our problem. Thank you so much." The other beavers joined in the laughter, and Sunny couldn't help but giggle along. She was so happy that she had helped, but then the biggest beaver cleared his throat. "As a reward for your cleverness, we'd like to invite you to our housewarming party once we're done building the dam," he said. "We're planning to have a grand celebration when we finally finish our new lodge. We'd love for you to come." Sunny squealed with delight. She loved parties, but then her face fell. "Oh dear," she said, "I'd love to, but I have to collect acorns for my family's winter stash. I can't wait to hear about your housewarming party though. Please tell me everything when I see you next." And with that, Sunny dashed off to join her family. Back at her home, Sunny couldn't stop thinking about the beavers and their upcoming party. As she arranged her collection of acorns, she wondered what games they might play and what delicious treats they might eat. Maybe they would have fish to eat and play games of tag in the water. Sunny's imagination was running wild, and she knew that no matter what games they played, she would have fun. She couldn't wait to celebrate with her new friends, the beavers. Now, as the days passed, Sunny often stopped by the beavers' lodge to chat with them. While they worked on their dam and their future home, she learned that the beavers were indeed planning a grand housewarming party, and she couldn't wait to join in the festivities. The beavers, in turn, enjoyed Sunny's company and her endless enthusiasm. They appreciated her willingness to help, and they liked hearing about life from the perspective of a curious squirrel. Finally, the day of the housewarming party arrived. Sunny, wearing a colorful leaf as a party hat, raced to the beaver lodge with a basket of acorns in hand. The beaver's new lodge was magnificent, built from sturdy logs and nestled beside a sparkling pond. It looked like a cozy castle, fit for a royal beaver family. The party was in full swing. Other forest creatures had come to celebrate, squirrels, rabbits, turtles, and even a grumpy old badger were all there having fun. The beavers were overjoyed with their new home, and they couldn't wait to show it off. As the afternoon wore on, the animals played games, sang songs, and feasted on berries, nuts, and fish. Sunny, true to form, was everywhere, chatting with everyone, asking questions and making new friends. She learned that the grumpy old badger actually loved sunflower seeds, and that the turtles played hide and seek among the lily pads in the pond. When the moon replaced the sun and the fireflies began to glow, it was time for the final event of the evening, the unveiling of the beaver's secret talent. For being such good friends to us, you deserve a special treat, said the biggest beaver. We're going to perform our favorite song and dance number just for you, Sunny. The other beavers nodded, and then they all broke into an energetic rendition of the Busy Beaver Blues. They sang and tapped their feet in time to the music, and even the grumpy badger couldn't help but tap his foot along. As the song ended, the animals burst into applause. "Encore, encore!" they shouted, and the beavers happily played and sang again. Sunny, watching the beavers perform, realized that friendship could blossom in the most unexpected places. And she was so glad that she had taken the time to get to know them. From that day on, Sunny continued to explore Whispering Woods, always curious, always asking questions, and always ready to make a new friend. She learned that the world was full of wonders and that every creature had something unique to offer. And most importantly, she discovered that knowledge and friendship were the greatest treasures of all.